Hello, theologisters, sisters, and misters.
Welcome to the Coven.
Arthur, I have a question for you.
Okay, shoot.
Do you consider yourself normal?
I'm gonna go with no, because I'm normal to me, but not to other people, that's for sure. Actually, maybe I'm not normal to me. I don't know. I'm gonna say no.
Like, what would you consider a normal person?
Someone who can't do any of the things I do. I guess someone who's not a fallen angel.
So, you've mentioned that in the past, and that is exactly what I wanted to talk about. What does it mean to be a fallen angel?
Oh no, this is an intervention.
I want to know. I'm curious. Because, like, you have to understand, like, people listening, they either know exactly what you're talking about, or they're thinking, like, you think that you actually, like, fell from the fucking heavens.
Hell fucking no, I didn't.
So, like, clarify.
Clarification. No, I did not fall from the heavens. No, it did
Damn.
not hurt when I didn't fall.
Did it hurt?
Did what hurt?
When you fell from heaven.
No, because I never did.
Wow. I guess that means that you're not an angel. Sorry.
Shit.
Shit.
That concludes the whole episode.
Sorry, guys.
2 minutes.
Didn't have a story for you today. Sucks.
So, what it means to me is that I do have special abilities that I didn't have before.
That's in reference to your near-death experience, right?
Yes, because these didn't appear until then.
Right. So to recap that TLDR was that you were basically on death's doorstep. You were in a hospital. You weren't on like life support or being monitored or anything, but you had this incredibly vivid dream that seemed like what people talk about when they're like go towards the light and all of that. And you heard a voice that basically said, "Do you want to come back? If you do, I'll make you stronger." Right?
It wasn't even like a "do you want to come back" kind of question. It was more of a kind of like a "you don't want to die" kind of thing. I basically died, but didn't die.
Miraculously. But basically, as soon as you woke up, you started noticing things were different.
It wasn't like the second I woke up, but it was within the first week I did notice that things started to change. Now, before we get into what a fallen angel is, and this is where people started laughing at me if they ever knew. But when I was younger, I used to think that I was an incubus because the energy that I seemed to be getting was sucked from anyone who adored me romantically, although it could be more than that. It could be from kisses, hugs, more intimate activities.
Mm-hmm.
Those specifically seem to help me a lot.
In terms of help, what do you mean by that?
Give me a lot more energy than I normally would.
Do you remember when we spoke about that when we were younger? So, like, I remembered you telling me this, and you explained it to me basically like whoever you're intimate with, or as you said, like affection, even that it. At the time, it felt like it was almost feeding you. This was after, obviously, you and I have had an established friendship, but it was before you, like, really started to tell me about, like, the spiritual stuff that you were into. I didn't know about, like, anything about your childhood. I didn't know about your stuff with, like, ghosts. I think the only thing I knew a little bit was that you mentioned, shadow people here and there, but, like, you never went into detail. When you brought this up to me, I was definitely weirded out, but I never let it show because I was like, I'm probably just not quite understanding it. And I also care about this person, and I'm not going to make them feel bad for what they believe. Like, even back then, I never once, like, poked fun at you for it. If anything, I think I asked you, like, a lot of questions.
You've always been a curious person.
I wasn't going to be like, oh, wow. So what? You're an incubus now? Fucking dumb.
I don't even know how I would have reacted to that, honestly.
From me? Oh god, I don't know. But I think you would have thought that I was joking.
Probably.
But I think what it comes down to is the definition that we know of, what an angel is, what a fallen angel is, what an incubus is. It isn't necessarily what you were referring to. We're not saying that you're like a demon born
Mm-hmm.
It was just the fact that you said that you felt like you were absorbing energy at the time. So, I mean, whether or not you actually were, I wasn't going to like make you feel bad about it. I remember being like, oh, this is weird, but that's okay. I like weird. Weird's cool.
And
And that was it.
I'd explain it off as like placebo if it wasn't for the fact that interacting with people casually didn't give me any energy.
Mm.
If anything, it was draining because I was so introverted.
I mean, I'm sure like there are a lot of people that might relate to the fact that being around people that they love and that love them, give them energy. But I think
This gave me a lot of energy. That's the only reason I noticed it.
like it definitely felt different than what you were used to.
Yes, that's the
And
only reason that my brain kind of went, wait a minute.
it was enough for you to bring it up to people and to start talking about it.
Well, people is a loose word, maybe two or three.
Right.
I didn't want to go around to every freaking person and just be like, yeah, this is a thing.
Well, yeah, because
That's
obviously you
in
knew
you
that
sound insane.
yeah, you know that people were going to say shitty things about you.
Yeah,
So at the time, you thought you were possibly an incubus.
yes. And I would lose those abilities that I would get, which I'll go into the abilities more later, as if I'd gone into like a hibernation. And this one was interesting. I seemed to become more hungry for actual human food as opposed to having my appetite go down if I was given that attention.
Oh yeah, again, I remember you telling me that like you said that like you could go for like a day without food if you like were intimate with somebody, and I was like, okay, but like you should probably eat.
Yeah. But it was like I could be hungry and then suddenly just not be hungry after that and be totally fine the next day without food.
Hmm.
And it was really weird.
Like it was not something you had ever experienced before up until that point.
Nope.
Has that changed?
What, that feeling?
Yeah, that idea of you, taking people's energy and how that like sustained you.
I haven't been intimate with someone who loves me in quite a while.
So you're not sure. You'd have to wait and see.
I'd say the last time might have been 2016.
Yeah, that was a hot minute.
Yeah. So my mother said that a lot of abilities that I have aren't due to being a fallen angel, but are actually due to I don't want to say heritage because that's not the word I'm looking for. Just genetically,
It was passed down.
yeah. And so I asked her what makes me more likely to be a fallen angel over an incubus. And what she wound up saying was because I don't think you are a demon. I think you are more angelic because I know you have healing qualities and demons don't heal people. Now, that said, I don't think I've ever healed someone. Myself, yes. Other people, no? And then I said, I sometimes forget it's not normal since this has been a thing for 12 years. And then I said, I can heal others? And she started talking about like things I should go look into. And I retconned with also demons are more manipulative than me. I'd say I have no agenda. I'm mischievous, but not malicious.
Well, what triggered this conversation to begin with?
My mother and I often just have these conversations. They're just like casually sprinkled into our normal lives.
I guess that's the thing that most people would probably be lost on is just you casually saying, "Hey mom, am I a demon?" Like to the average person, that makes literally no sense. You were born to, human parents. How would you even be able to consider yourself as, presumably a mortal to be a demon? How does that even happen? The normal idea of what a demon is that it's a malicious being that is not mortal, that is like born in hell and, only sent to the earth to torment people under the guise of like Satan or something. Like, that is what people think when they hear the word demon. They think, the fucking henchman of Satan. That's what they think. So, what made you ever even think that that is something that you would be? Are you referring to a different kind of demon?
No, I thought that I might be an incubus because of the way that I was receiving my abilities through intimate relations with people.
So, did it feel like you were turning in to a demon?
No, it felt like I just had these abilities and nothing had changed, but, acquiring them. So I asked my mother, I said, aren't fallen angels just more advanced demons? Like succubi and incubi are really like leeches of the demon world. So I have a glimmer of hope at having my mother say my wings are fallen angel wings, and I want to know more. But of course, the media fucks that stuff up with their falsities. So if
Valid.
you have anything, let me know, Mum. And she had said, I think that when you got sick, you got reborn. Before you got sick, you were much more shy, not so outgoing, and not standing up for yourself, which is very true. I
Mhm.
did notice that immediate change, and so did my aunt.
Mhm.
Fallen angels can be like demons. I don't think that you're a bad one. I think you use your talents to protect yourself. I think you take energy when you need it and not just to exhaust someone for fun. That one's true. Absolutely.
Mhm.
You have more control than I did when I was awakening, which implies that she is also a fallen angel, which I don't think I actually asked her about. I should.
You probably should.
And I said, I think I'd feel guilty if I were to just exhaust someone for fun. I take what I need, and it usually won't do more than make someone tired. All that said, what makes you a fallen angel? Well, first there was the rebirth situation where I had pretty much just died and I came back. The someone talking to me didn't match up at first, but that could very well just be my new soul. Just like hey, I can give you powers. Okay, cool. I'd like the power to not die. I really don't want to die. Like,
Valid.
I just want the pain to go away. That's it. Yeah, we can do that. All right, cool.
So, is it that you think that you are physically a fallen angel, or do you think that you merged with a fallen angel?
That is a good question that I asked myself for quite a while.
Because I think that's the distinction we need to make. Before your near death experience, you were without a doubt mortal. Whether or not you had abilities that were passed on via,
I was still
inheriting
mortal.
inheriting them, it's not like you were born as a demon or born as an angel.
Yeah, no, I was
Is that
not.
something that people can be? Can you be born as these things?
Yes, but only if you're literally those things. You're not a person at that point, and you wouldn't be born into this realm.
Right. So basically, what you're saying is it's not that you thought that you were inherently, like you were born and put on this earth as an angel or as a demon. It's that an event in your life caused so much change that you felt that you were merging with these energies that are associated with either, being demonic or being angelic. Am I following?
Yeah, you're following. I don't think that I am a fallen angel. I just say that I am a fallen angel because it's easier than saying I merged with one. So I'm like 50%. Like that's
But somehow it makes more sense to me in my non-accustomed brain, because the moment you say I am a fallen angel, your validity is taken into account, because and unless if there's so much to this world that I really do not understand, and that these definitions that have been fed to me are blatantly wrong. So it's just like it's so hard for me, a normie, to wrap my head around just the things that you talk about and the things that you say. I have nothing to relate them to. I've never encountered an angel on earth that I knew of, or a demon on earth disguised as a person, or I've never had a ghost experience. I've never had any of this. So for you to just simplify it, I need the concrete, I need the full explanation. You can't just walk in and say, I'm this, and don't think too much about it, because that's not going to happen.
I tend to give full explanations, and I believe I did give you one, but that was a while back.
If you did, I don't remember it.
So I could tell you what the abilities I gained were, what ones I had innately from just genetic passing down from witch to witch.
Mhm.
If you would like me to.
I would love that.
Okay. So I do have wings. They appear to be more spectral in the sense that other people can't see them unless they're also magical in this type of sense, meaning merged with something else.
Mhm.
However, I did get those tattooed on my back as well because I wanted to have a physical reminder that they were there. And even then, I don't remember they're there half the time.
So when you say wings, what does that mean?
Literally wings.
Now, these, as you said, are not wings that a normal person could see or feel.
Nope. And I need the energy from the intimacy and various other things. I did find out that I don't necessarily need the intimacy. I can also just get it from affection. But I need that energy in order to use those wings at all.
So, do you think these wings were given to you when you had this merge?
Yes. I just didn't know how to spread them at all until several years later.
When you say that you are able to spread these like astral wings, I guess would probably be the best way to describe them. What does that mean to you? What does that feel like?
It feels like, well, almost like, I'm able to flatten the wings up against my back when they're not in use. But if I use the energy to spread them, they pull away from my back and spread outwards. Kind of like a stupid fucking bird that's like trying to intimidate somebody. They can flap if I ask them to for some reason. I've never really needed to.
Uh-huh.
I usually use them as an intimidation tactic, or just to test and see if they still work because I haven't used them in so long.
Do you have, I don't want to say proof, but like what to you makes you feel that even though nobody can see them or touch them or interact with them, what makes them real to you?
Not nobody, just most people.
Most people. So are you saying that like your mom can feel them or see them?
I would assume that my mother would be able to see them. I haven't asked her if she could see them.
I like these are the
Again, more things I should probably ask her, but
you
usually we just casually have chats. My life is not, it doesn't revolve around my magic and it doesn't revolve around the angel thing.
but it is so prevalent and like maybe not in your day to day, but just like
That's why it's not talked about because it's not in my day to
but
day.
these are massive claims. You realize that, right?
I do. And I know some people are going to sit down and go, "You're absolutely insane." And you know what? Fine. Okay, sure. I'm not going to be able to convince everyone or maybe even anyone that these facts, but I know them to be facts.
A way that I would test it if I were given the chance to run a test is that somebody in your life that you know is magical that you believe should or would be able to see or feel your wings, as an example, maybe your mom, and you say to her like you're having a chat, you're sitting face to face, and you say at
Hmm.
some point during this conversation I'm going to spread my wings and I'm not going to tell you when, and you have to tell me when you see them.
Yeah, I could do that.
Do you think that she would actually be able to say, yeah, there they are. I see them. They look like this and describe them.
I believe she would be able to see them. She'll have to come up north to see me again.
Are you able to see them in a mirror?
You know, I've never looked.
These are the questions, Arthur. These are the hard hitting, important questions.
Would you like me to go look right
Yes,
now and then come
actually,
back?
yes, that is exactly what I want you to do.
Okay, sure. I'll be back, everybody.
I need to know. All right, well, Arthur's not here. Guys, real talk. You know, I believe him in the sense that I love him. He's like my best friend, and I trust him. And I know he would never go out of his way to lie to me. But you and I both understand these are big claims. I'm still inclined to believe that he's telling the truth. Whether or not they are physical, real things, I know it's a truth to him. So I want to know. How far can we push it? Can he actually see them? Is it a feeling? Is it physical? Like, could a person touch them and feel them and know what they feel like? I couldn't. Insane. Absolutely insane. I wonder how long this is going to take. How long does it take to flex your wings? Wow, it's really weird just sitting here by myself and talking to you guys. Hi. I wonder if he's wearing a shirt. Do they go through the shirt? Or if he's wearing a shirt, he can't spread them. The fact that he doesn't think of these questions is very telling to me of just like maybe the kind of person that I am. I mean, you guys know I question things because I'm just curious. Is he on his way back?
Okay,
Well, welcome back.
thank you. I have the answer. It probably isn't the one that you want.
Uh, I mean, I am coming into this with no expectations. You just tell me your truth.
That hurt.
It hurt?
And I believe that the reason for that was because I haven't had anything to feed off of in a long time. You know that there's been so many stresses in my life, especially lately.
Yeah,
And
it's easy to say that you're most likely emotionally drained.
yeah, I haven't had anything to feed off of. Nothing. No affection. I mean, you're obviously affectionate, but
I'm assuming it's a different kind of affection. I think it's also the fact that it's not in person.
so I tried using that and it fucking hurt.
When you say it hurt, did it hurt your back? Did you feel pain in like the astral wings? Was it just putting a lot of strain on your body? Can you pinpoint where the pain was physically?
Yeah, it's the pain was where the wings usually start to sprout from, just the base of them, and then a slight
Like your
sting
shoulder
towards
blades?
the yeah, but not at my shoulder blades. That's not where it.
Lower?
Yeah, they come from lower than there.
Like your like behind your ribs?
I'd say that they come from behind my ribs. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so that area hurt quite a bit, and then the upper shoulders, like my upper shoulders, where I guess you would call them thumbs, the thumbs of
Mhm.
the wings are, as well as the sides where they kind of, like wrap around to like fold in.
Mhm.
All those areas really hurt, but I kept trying to like spread them and see if I could see them. I could see a very faint, like, struggle of energy,
Mhm.
but I could not see the wings themselves.
I think this would be interesting to come back to.
I think we
Po-
should come back to this once I've been given some energy.
yeah. Yeah, definitely like let me know when you think you might feel charged up.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. But it kind of felt like, a piece of gum, and like if it gets like stuck in your hair,
Yeah.
and how much of a bitch it is to get off.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like they were stuck. Like they were struggling. They couldn't move
Gosh, that
fully.
is so weird.
And so not fun.
But they were there.
They were there, just very faint and in pain.
If you don't spread them, do you think someone would still be able to see them if they could see that kind of stuff? Or do they have to be spread in order? Like if your back was turned, like do you think the average spiritual person, in this kind of field would say, "Ah, yes, the folded wings on your back. I can see them."
I have no idea.
That's what this entire episode is going to be. Is
Because like I have to put energy into spreading them and like pulling them out of the section where they kind of fold into, because there's a small spot where they fold more into my body so that I can not hurt them if I like scratch up against something.
question.
Answer.
Do you have a second small mirror?
Yes.
Turn your back to the big mirror, hold up the small mirror.
Please don't make me do that again. It hurt.
No, no, don't spread them and just see if they're there? Or is no? It's okay
I
if
don't,
it's no.
I don't want to do that again. I don't
Okay.
want to. Please.
No, no, it's okay. It's okay. You really do need to understand that
I know it's out
I
of curiosity, but I'm
it's
also
not
like,
even
this
that.
really hurts and everything.
It's not even that. I just straight up don't know what the boundaries are.
I don't know if I have to use energy to see them, even like flattened or not. And I know that myself, being stubborn, would try to use more energy and wind up just hurting myself more and making myself exhausted.
Fair enough. It is interesting. I do want to revisit this for sure. But I know that you also have a lot of other powers you have yet to talk about. And I would love to know, the ones that you say are, passed down, that you've inherited from whatever line of witches on your mother's side, correct?
Yes.
Is she the only witch, or was her mom a witch or something like that?
I don't think her mother was a witch. I'm about 99% sure she's not.
So, like, when you said that they were passed down, do you think your mom was the first?
I don't know if my mother was the first, but her parents both seem to be non-witchy.
But she is very adamant about her beliefs the same way that you are, which is very interesting.
And I'm fine with being proven wrong with things like this,
No, of
but
course.
this is very
It's real to you.
it's very like physically there. If it's something that I can personally feel,
Hmm.
it can be more solid than seeing a ghost for me, because it's there. It's on me. It takes energy. It hurt
But you can
just now,
conjure
like,
it at will.
yes.
Obviously with the correct amount of energy, but it is something that you can physically control.
Yes.
I am honestly so fascinated by the idea of this. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's real to you. I will never question that. I will never say you're wrong, ever. Never. But when I say, like, I wonder if it's actually real, I don't mean that it's actually real to you. I mean, is it something that we can somehow prove in the tangible world to the average person?
What's interesting to me is that usually something like this would be brought up because it's like, somebody brings up, oh, you must be a fallen angel, blah, blah, blah. No, this was a conversation that I brought up
Hmm.
without having like any sort of knowledge about such things and just going, I don't know what I am. Like, I feel like I'm this, but it doesn't make sense. And then my mother was like, actually, I think you're this. And this is what I tell my friends you are. And I was like, why do you say that? And so we had an in depth discussion about it.
I want to
But
bring her on so badly. Because, like, the thing is that as experienced as you are, she obviously has even more experience. And
she's older than me and has been working a lot longer than me. So
exactly. I mean, it just makes sense that she would have more experience. And I bet that she would have, some answers in areas where you don't. I want to see, when I hit her with these kinds of questions, how confidently and how quickly she's able to, respond to them. And again, that's not me trying to call her validity into question. But like I come into these topics almost completely blind. Other than you telling me like the very basics, I just don't get it. A lot of it, I can't wrap my head around. It's like trying to explain color to a blind person who's been blind from birth. It literally feels like you're trying to explain a color to me and I will never be able to see it. So, of course, like a blind person who's trying, to have color explained to them, they start saying, "Well, what can you compare it to? What in my world can you compare this to so I can kind of get it?" And at the end of the day, that blind person might have a better grasp on the concept of color, but even so, they probably won't ever entirely know what it is and what it would mean to them to be able to experience it. And that's honestly what it feels like. If I am totally blind to this world. And so when I ask you all of these questions, it's not me saying I need to ask you all these questions to prove that you're wrong or even to prove that you're right. It's just like, this is how I need to rationalize it so that I can wrap my head around it. And the more detail you give me and the more you're able to compare it to something, the easier it is for me to be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, I get that." So, I guess that's just a reminder of where I'm coming from in all of this.
the best thing I can just give you is that it's like having a second pair of arms that can fold in and like go flat.
Honestly, that's the best description you've given me. At least that's something I could compare it to.
Like that's the only thing I can give you.
But you know what? It helps. In a weird way, it helps. You have ghost arms on your back. That's what it is. That what it is?
I mean, yeah, I can explain the fun bits about them if you'd like me to.
Well, it's funny that you say that because we ran out of time.
But
No.
there's
Stay spooky, everyone.
okay, bye.